action to teach you guys what the rules of divisibility is. So what this means is if a number, so for instance we have this number, we have to figure out if this number is divisible evenly with numbers 0 to 10. Well, no, not 0, 1 to 10. So yeah, anyway, and I will teach you guys what the divisibility rules are for certain numbers that you have to figure out, and you'll probably learn this in grade 6 or 7. And yeah, it's really easy, just stick with me, and yeah, let's jump in. So we're going to try the divisibility rule for the number 1 is you just be okay, sorry about that little pause there, but yeah, anyways, I'm back, so it's all good. So yeah, the divisibility rule for number 1 is, so let's say we have this number. Well, this is every single number in the world should be divisible by 1, because, and the answer would be the question itself. So if you do this, it'll literally give us 1142. And if you try another one, even if you do like a big number that doesn't even make sense, if you do this divided by 1, it will have to equal the question itself. So yeah, so we call this any single question, if it has divide this by 1, it will literally be the simplest thing you'll ever know in your math life. Okay, so divisibility rule for number 2 is I'm gonna give you guys certain numbers here, and we're going to see if any of this number is divisible evenly by 2 or not. And you guys probably know what odd number and even number is, but I'll tell you guys right here. Odd number will, any digit, the last digit of a number, to find out if it's odd or not, you'll see 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, and even numbers they end with 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So yeah, and looking at this number 16, we can see that the last digit of 16 is 6. So, and 6 is an even number, so 6 is evenly divisible by 2. And looking at 47 here, looking at the last digit, is 7. And 7 is in fact an odd number, because we can find the number in the odd section of the part. So odd numbers are not divisible by 2, or evenly, I guess, evenly divisible by 2. And number 3, to see if a number is divisible by the number 3, you just have to add up all the digits in a number. So we're going to add, let's see, 421 and 421 and 96, I guess. And to see if any of these numbers are divisible by 3 or not, we have to add up all the digits. So we first have to separate this, so add a comma between every number. So we will get 4, 2, and 1. And take these commas out and replace them with plus signs. and add them up. So we'll get 7 here. And 7 is, you know that 7 is not evenly divisible by 3, because the 3 goes, times by 3 goes like 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on. And 7 is not in here, it's between the numbers, so it's not evenly divisible by 3. And looking at 96, just add the numbers up, but put a comma here, so it's 9 and 6, not 96, 9 and 6. Put a render here and convert the comma to a plus sign and add them up, so we'll get 15, and 15 is divisible by 3, so 96 is divisible by 3. Let's move on to 4. For number 4 is pretty easy. Okay, 4 is pretty easy. It's easier than number 3. Okay. So, divisibility rules for number 4 is, I'm gonna put down some numbers here. Okay. Now, the divisibility rule of the number 4 is, if the last 2 digits form a number divisible by 4, is evenly divisible by 4. So we're going to take the last 2 digits and look at them, just stare at them, focus on them, concentrate on them, and figure out if they're divisible by 4 or not. So in this case, it will be 12 here. You have to look at this 12, and 12 is divisible by 4. So it will be divisible by 4. The number will be divisible by 4. And yeah. Now looking at 7,518. Look at the last 2 digits, and they're 18. And 18 is not divisible by 4. So the number is not evenly divisible by 4. Let's move on to 5. And 5 will be also easy. 5 is, I'm gonna say, the easiest one. 5 and 10 is the easiest one for me. So yeah. The divisibility rules for number 5 is if the last digit of a number is 0 or 5. So I'm going to put down some numbers here. Any number, even a big number, works for this. And you can find it out easily. So looking at the last digit of a number, so in this case it'll be 5. And is 5 in this 2 numbers, 0 or 5? And yes, it is 5, so this number is divisible by 5 evenly. And looking at this number, 8. The last digit of a number is 8, and 8 is not in the 2 numbers, so it's not evenly divisible by 5, so it's not correct. Looking at 6. Now you just learned the divisibility rule of 2 and 3, and we're going to find it out if a number is divisible by 2 or 3. 2 and 3, I meant. So this works the best on small numbers, so I'm going to put down a small number up here, 48, and let's say 20. Now you probably guys learned multiplication and division in grade 5 and 6, and you're probably getting into advanced division and advanced multiplication now. And you can watch my first video, and that can help you guys, the advanced math thing you have to do probably. And yeah. So the divisibility rule. Oh my god, okay, this is ridiculously such a hard tongue twister. It's insane. Okay, so the divisibility rule for number 6 is, if the number is divisible by both 2 and 3. And let's look at 48. 48 divided by 6 will give a number without any remainders. And you guys probably just figured out the answer is 8. Okay? So that's good. Now you have to go back and say if 48 is divisible by 2. And it is because the last digit is an even number. So 48 is divisible by 6. Let's look at 20. Let's do 2 first. So it's 20 divided by 2. You can do it because the last digit of a number is 0, which is an even number. But if you go to 20 divided by 3, and you guys know that 20 divided by 3 doesn't really work evenly, so you know that this cannot be divided by 6, even though it is divisible by 2. It cannot be divisible by 3, so you cannot divide it by 6.